Jail, straight to jail. For questioning at least, Erika. Look, I have seen enough, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen enough. Erika Kirk should be dragged into a police precinct for questioning. Like I said, you can show me the person who disagrees with me on that. After I will reveal to you what we can now confirm, you can show me that individual and I will show you a blown fraud. That's the only people that would disagree with that assessment. I said to my team this morning that the amount of evidence that is now piling up, I would say against Erika Kirk, is almost akin to an NBC Dateline episode, except it's actually more simplified than that. Like Dateline, that show is way too complicated.
We were girls and young women who were victimized by Epstein and Maxwell in a game ring.
I know there are videos and photos. I know that Jeffrey had recording cameras in his house.
Powerful people who caused us harm are being protected and we're being exposed. It is meant to silence us.
I think I always had that girly girl hidden within me. After being such a tomboy and experiencing that my whole life, it was like, oh, I can curl my hair, I can put on the mascara. I come from a great family that has very amazing genetics, so thanks, Mom and Dad.
They're losing their minds.
She sounded so sincere, didn't she?
Very sincere.
Virtually choke on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia. Could I tell you some stories about that cow? But anyway, good riddance to her. But, she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy files.
Yeah.
Release the Diddy files. Come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name.
So maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of...
For years, Erika Kirk's name floated quietly around the edges of the Epstein conversation without ever becoming the main focus. People would occasionally see her mentioned in comment sections, old interviews, or random online discussions, but nothing ever stuck long enough to create real pressure. No major headlines. No serious public attention. Just another name buried underneath a mountain of internet speculation that most people ignored and moved past quickly. Then Ellen DeGeneres got pulled back into the Epstein conversation again, and suddenly everything changed. Because the second Ellen's name started resurfacing alongside Epstein-related discussions, people online immediately began re-examining everyone connected to those same elite celebrity circles much more aggressively. And according to viewers following the situation closely, Erika Kirk's name started appearing in places people hadn't noticed before. Old footage resurfaced. Archived clips got analyzed again. Past interviews started circulating across TikTok, Reddit, and YouTube. And the deeper people looked, the more uncomfortable the entire situation allegedly became. What really pushed the internet into overdrive was Ellen's longtime public connection to Diddy. At first, those old interviews looked harmless. Celebrities joking around on daytime television. Nothing unusual. But after Diddy's legal downfall exploded publicly, audiences started revisiting those exact same clips through a completely different lens. Ellen laughing with him, talking about his parties, joking about after-parties and private gatherings with an energy that now feels strangely unsettling to many viewers online. And that's where Erika Kirk suddenly became part of a much bigger conversation. Because according to discussions spreading online right now, people believe Erika's timeline allegedly overlaps with some of the same elite access-controlled environments connected to powerful celebrity networks. Fashion circles, international travel, high-level networking spaces, private events ordinary people never get near. And once viewers started connecting those dots alongside Ellen's resurfaced Epstein discussions, internet speculation exploded almost overnight. Now people are asking a question Hollywood absolutely does not want trending. If there's truly nothing hidden behind these overlapping connections, why do certain people allegedly start looking nervous every single time these conversations gain momentum publicly again? For years, Erika Kirk's name existed in the kind of space where most internet stories go to disappear. Occasionally mentioned. Rarely examined seriously. Easy to dismiss. People would see her name floating around Epstein-related discussions every once in a while, but nothing ever stuck hard enough to create real momentum. No major headlines attached to her. No explosive public pressure. Just scattered mentions buried underneath thousands of other names and theories online. Then Ellen DeGeneres got connected back into the conversation, and suddenly people stopped ignoring Erika Kirk completely. Because according to viewers online, the second Ellen's name resurfaced alongside Epstein discussions again. The entire energy changed almost overnight. What used to feel like random internet gossip suddenly started feeling much more serious. Audiences began revisiting old celebrity connections, private circles, and overlapping timelines with a completely different mindset. And that's exactly when Erika Kirk's name allegedly started showing up in ways people hadn't paid attention to before. The internet immediately went into investigation mode. TikTok creators started reposting archived clips. Reddit users dug through old interviews and modeling footage. YouTube commentary channels began connecting names tied to elite entertainment spaces, fashion circles, and private networking environments. And according to discussions spreading online, people noticed something uncomfortable very quickly. Erika's timeline allegedly overlapped repeatedly with the exact kinds of high-access environments audiences now associate with hidden celebrity power networks. That alone probably wouldn't have exploded publicly by itself. But then viewers started rewatching Ellen's old interviews with Diddy after his legal downfall changed how audiences viewed him completely. And honestly, those clips suddenly started feeling much darker in hindsight. Ellen joking about Diddy's parties, talking casually about after-parties, laughing about private celebrity environments ordinary people never get invited into. What once looked harmless now felt deeply unsettling to many people online revisiting those moments after everything that surfaced publicly later. That's where Erika Kirk suddenly became impossible for internet investigators to ignore. Because people online began asking a bigger question: if Ellen allegedly had proximity to those same elite celebrity spaces, and Erika Kirk's timeline also repeatedly intersected with controlled access environments tied to powerful figures, then how disconnected were those worlds really? And honestly, that question changed everything. Old footage of Erika started resurfacing everywhere online. Viewers revisited interviews where she described herself as highly adaptable, trainable, willing to travel constantly, and eager to enter what she called a wild world connected to elite fashion and media spaces. By itself, those comments might sound completely normal for someone pursuing opportunities in entertainment or modeling. But according to people online, once audiences emotionally connected those clips to Epstein discussions and allegations surrounding elite access networks, the language suddenly started sounding very different. Then another detail pushed suspicion even further. Internet users began revisiting Erika's alleged connections to international projects, Romania discussions, and overlapping names tied to powerful social circles that repeatedly appear around Epstein-related conversations online. That's when audiences stopped treating the situation like isolated celebrity gossip and started framing it as part of a much larger pattern involving access, proximity, and elite networks operating quietly behind the scenes. At the same time, critics warned that internet speculation can easily spiral beyond verified facts. They argued people are connecting unrelated details emotionally instead of focusing on evidence. But supporters of the theories pushed back hard, saying public trust in elite celebrity culture already collapsed after years of scandals where powerful figures repeatedly claimed ignorance, while damaging information kept surfacing later anyway. And according to many viewers online, that's exactly why this conversation suddenly feels dangerous for Hollywood again. The moment people started rewatching Ellen DeGeneres' old interviews with Diddy after his legal downfall exploded publicly, the internet reaction changed instantly. Because according to many viewers online, those clips did not feel harmless anymore. What once looked like normal celebrity chemistry suddenly started carrying a completely different energy once audiences began revisiting them with everything they know now. And honestly, that's where this entire story started getting much darker. Back when those interviews originally aired, nobody really questioned them seriously. Ellen and Diddy joked together constantly. She openly talked about his parties, teased him about after-parties, and laughed about celebrity lifestyles in front of millions of daytime viewers. At the time, audiences saw it as playful entertainment between famous friends. But now people online believe those same conversations feel strangely unsettling watching them back years later. One specific interview especially started circulating everywhere online. Viewers revisited the moment Ellen jokingly asked Diddy about his birthday parties, the after-parties afterward, and how late things supposedly went inside those private environments. Diddy laughed, joked about private hotel floors, and casually referenced how the party really starts later in the night. At first glance, it still sounds like celebrity banter. But according to discussions spreading online right now, audiences no longer hear those conversations the same way after everything that later surfaced publicly surrounding elite celebrity gatherings. That's exactly when people started asking bigger questions. Because if Diddy allegedly operated inside carefully controlled celebrity environments hidden from public view, who else had regular access to those same spaces? Who else moved comfortably around those circles while everything still looked normal publicly? And according to viewers online, Ellen's visible closeness with Diddy suddenly became impossible to ignore once people started connecting those questions together emotionally. Then the conversation shifted toward Erika Kirk again. Because internet users noticed that while Ellen and Diddy represented the public celebrity side of these elite networks, Erika's alleged timeline seemed connected more closely to access-based environments behind the scenes. Fashion circles, modeling opportunities, international travel, high-level networking spaces. According to many viewers online, that overlap made the entire picture start feeling less random and much more connected. Then old Erika footage resurfaced again. People started reposting interviews where Erika described herself as adaptable, trainable, constantly traveling, and ready to fit into elite spaces quickly without hesitation. Normally, those comments would sound completely ordinary in modeling or entertainment industries. But once internet investigators emotionally tied them to discussions around elite access-controlled celebrity circles, audiences began interpreting the language very differently. And honestly, that's where internet speculation exploded hardest. TikTok creators started building timelines linking Diddy's celebrity environments, Ellen's public connections, and Erika's alleged movement through overlapping elite spaces. Reddit users debated whether Hollywood's most powerful figures quietly normalized private celebrity worlds ordinary people knew nothing about. YouTube commentary channels pushed theories suggesting the public still has no idea how interconnected these networks may actually have been behind closed doors. At the same time, critics warned people were dangerously blending speculation with confirmed facts. They argued celebrity friendships and professional networking do not automatically imply criminal knowledge or involvement. But supporters of the theories pushed back by saying Hollywood's history already proved that powerful industries often hide uncomfortable truths publicly until pressure becomes impossible to control. And according to many viewers online, that's exactly why Ellen's old Diddy interviews suddenly feel so important now. Because people believe those clips accidentally gave audiences a small glimpse into elite celebrity environments that once looked glamorous on television, but now feel much darker in hindsight after everything that allegedly happened behind the scenes started coming into public view. As the internet kept revisiting Ellen's connections to Diddy and Epstein-related discussions, people suddenly started paying much closer attention to Erika Kirk's old interviews and public appearances. And according to viewers online, the deeper they looked, the more uncomfortable certain clips allegedly became in hindsight. One moment especially started spreading everywhere. Old footage resurfaced showing Erika describing herself as adaptable, trainable, always ready to travel, and willing to step into what she called a wild world connected to elite fashion and networking environments. At the time, those comments probably sounded completely normal for someone trying to build a career in entertainment or modeling. But now, after all the Epstein discussions, Diddy fallout, and Ellen connections resurfacing publicly, audiences online say those clips feel very different watching them back today. That's when internet speculation really intensified. TikTok creators started reposting Erika's interviews beside clips of Ellen joking about Diddy's parties. Reddit users began mapping timelines between fashion circles, celebrity events, and private elite environments tied to powerful people. And according to many viewers online, the repeated overlap between those worlds stopped feeling random after a while. Then another detail started getting attention. People revisited Erika's alleged involvement in international projects connected to Romania and elite networking spaces overseas. On the surface, supporters argued it was simply humanitarian or professional work being twisted unfairly by internet conspiracy culture. But critics pushed back hard, claiming the timeline and overlapping names surrounding those environments raised legitimate questions worth examining more closely. And, honestly, this is where the public mood around Hollywood has changed completely. Years ago, audiences probably would have ignored these kinds of connections entirely. But after everything connected to Epstein became public, viewers started treating elite access itself as suspicious. Private circles, exclusive parties, carefully controlled guest lists, international travel tied to powerful celebrity networks. None of it feels glamorous to audiences anymore. Now people see secrecy and hidden influence instead. That's why Erika Kirk's name suddenly became such a major discussion online. Because according to many viewers, her alleged proximity to those environments now feels connected to a much bigger conversation about how elite celebrity networks allegedly operated behind closed doors for years, while the public only saw polished entertainment on the surface. At the same time, critics continued warning against turning speculation into assumed truth. They argued internet investigators often connect unrelated details emotionally without hard evidence. But supporters of the theories responded by saying public trust already collapsed long ago after repeated scandals involving powerful figures who publicly denied knowledge until more information later surfaced anyway. And according to many people online, that's exactly why this conversation keeps getting louder instead of fading away. As pressure around Epstein-related discussions kept growing online, another detail suddenly started getting massive attention: Ellen DeGeneres quietly leaving the United States and relocating to England. Officially, the explanation sounded simple enough. Lifestyle changes. Political frustration. Wanting peace away from public chaos. But according to many viewers online, the timing immediately raised eyebrows. Because this move happened right as conversations around resurfaced Epstein files, Diddy connections, and overlapping celebrity circles were intensifying publicly again. That's when social media exploded with theories. TikTok creators started claiming Ellen allegedly wanted distance before additional information could potentially surface publicly later. Reddit users began connecting the relocation to growing pressure surrounding elite Hollywood figures tied socially to controversial names. And according to discussions spreading online, people became even more suspicious because reports claimed parts of Ellen's move may allegedly have been planned earlier than the public explanation suggested. Then Erika Kirk's name got dragged even deeper into the conversation. Because while Ellen was physically distancing herself from Hollywood attention, viewers noticed Erika's alleged connections were being examined more aggressively than ever online. Old interviews resurfaced daily. Fashion industry clips spread across social media. Discussions around elite access circles kept growing louder. And according to many people online, the contrast itself looked strange. One person stepping away quietly while another kept getting pulled directly toward the center of the controversy. That's what made the internet start treating this less like isolated celebrity drama and more like a connected pattern. People began focusing heavily on overlapping environments, exclusive networking spaces, international access, powerful celebrity friendships. And according to viewers online, the same kinds of elite circles kept appearing repeatedly no matter which direction the story moved. At the same time, critics warned the internet was spiraling too deeply into conspiracy thinking. They argued relocation decisions, celebrity friendships, and old interviews do not automatically prove wrongdoing. But supporters of the theories pushed back by saying audiences have already seen too many situations where powerful figures stayed publicly protected until pressure became impossible to ignore. And honestly, that growing distrust may be the biggest reason this story refuses to disappear. At this point, The biggest reason the internet refuses to let this story die is because people believe the same names, circles, and environments keep overlapping no matter where they look. Ellen DeGeneres. Diddy. Epstein-related discussions. Elite fashion spaces. Private celebrity gatherings. Erika Kirk's resurfaced timeline. According to many viewers online, the more these pieces get re-examined together, the less random the whole picture allegedly starts feeling. And honestly, that's exactly why public suspicion keeps growing. Because people online are no longer reacting to one single clip or one isolated connection anymore. They're reacting to patterns. Old interviews that suddenly feel uncomfortable. Celebrity friendships viewed differently in hindsight. Private environments ordinary people never had access to. And according to discussions spreading online, audiences now believe Hollywood's elite culture may have operated very differently behind closed doors than the public was ever allowed to see. Then another detail pushed the conversation even further. Internet users started revisiting references to coded language allegedly appearing repeatedly inside Epstein-related materials, including strange discussions around the word pizza. On its own, many critics say those theories go far beyond verified evidence. But supporters of the speculation argue the repeated overlaps, redactions, and recurring language patterns are exactly why audiences continue questioning elite celebrity networks so aggressively online. That immediately brought Ellen back into focus again because viewers started resurfacing old clips where she casually joked about pizza and celebrity parties publicly on television. According to many people online, those moments now feel oddly unsettling when combined emotionally with everything else surrounding Diddy, Epstein discussions, and resurfaced celebrity connections. At the same time, critics strongly warned audiences against turning internet theories into assumed truth without hard evidence. They argued speculation can easily spiral into narratives disconnected from facts. But supporters of the theories responded by saying Hollywood itself created this distrust after years of scandals involving powerful people publicly denying knowledge, while disturbing details kept surfacing later anyway. And according to many viewers online, that's exactly why this conversation feels impossible to ignore now. Because people no longer believe these are isolated celebrity stories anymore. They believe they may be looking at pieces of a much larger network involving power, secrecy, elite access, and hidden connections the public still doesn't fully understand. Right now, the internet believes this story is nowhere near finished. Because according to many viewers online, every time people start digging into one connection, 3 more suddenly appear behind it. Ellen's resurfaced Epstein discussions. Diddy's celebrity circle. Erika Kirk's alleged overlapping timeline. Private networking spaces. International connections. None of it feels isolated to audiences anymore. And honestly, that's what has people paying such close attention now. The public mood around celebrity culture has completely changed over the last few years. Audiences no longer automatically trust carefully managed Hollywood images the way they once did. Private jets, luxury parties, exclusive gatherings, billionaire friendships. People online now look at those environments with suspicion instead of admiration. And according to discussions spreading across social media, viewers believe the entertainment industry spent years protecting powerful circles through silence and image control. That's why Erika Kirk's name suddenly becoming central to these conversations feels so significant to many people online. Because for years, her name barely generated attention publicly. But once Ellen's connections resurfaced again and old Diddy clips started circulating differently in hindsight, audiences began treating Erika's alleged timeline much more seriously. And according to internet discussions, the pressure keeps growing because viewers feel there are still too many unanswered questions surrounding how these elite circles allegedly operated behind closed doors. At the same time, critics continue warning that online speculation can quickly become disconnected from verified facts. They argue people are emotionally linking separate events together without enough evidence. But supporters of the theories push back by saying too many scandals over the years followed the exact same pattern: public denial first, damaging revelations later. And honestly, that's why this story keeps getting louder. Because people online believe Hollywood's biggest fear right now isn't one specific headline. It's the possibility that more overlapping names, resurfaced footage, and hidden connections could continue coming out publicly over time. And according to many viewers following this closely, that fear alone may explain why certain people suddenly seem desperate to create distance while the internet keeps digging deeper every single day. At this point, people online believe this story has become much bigger than just Erika Kirk alone. Between Ellen DeGeneres' resurfaced Epstein discussions, the old Diddy interviews suddenly feeling different in hindsight, and the growing focus on elite celebrity access circles, audiences are questioning Hollywood culture harder than ever before. And, honestly, the more old clips and timelines get revisited, the more viewers feel like there may still be a lot happening behind the scenes the public doesn't fully understand yet. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think the internet is connecting too many unrelated details together? Or do you think these overlapping celebrity circles deserve much deeper public scrutiny? And what do you make of Ellen's timing specifically? Was leaving America simply a personal decision, or do you think audiences have valid reasons for questioning it? Drop your thoughts in the comments because people online are completely divided right now. Some viewers think this is another case of conspiracy culture spiraling too far, while others believe Hollywood's elite circles stayed protected for years through silence, influence, and carefully managed public images. And if you want more deep breakdowns on celebrity scandals, hidden Hollywood connections, Epstein-related discussions, and the stories social media cannot stop talking about, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because according to many people online, this conversation is only getting more intense, and the internet clearly isn't done digging yet.